orientation is locked. Okay, that's odd. Well, it appears I'm live, but now the orientation on my phone seems to be locked. I don't know why. That's odd. Very odd. Well, there, you can see the screen. I don't know what that's about. And this is very weird. Orientation is locked. Why in the heck is my orientation locked? It's very weird. Let's see if Rob can keep this live stream going. I assume you're seeing the picture. I got to go to my channel and see what you're seeing because this is weird. Oh, man. I don't know. Live now. Well, there's my lovely picture. Yeah, the screen is weird. And if I turn it, it doesn't turn. Huh. Oh, well. We'll set it there. It's now sitting... Oh, wait a minute. It did turn. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's a nice shot. You'd think I'd never done this before. I don't know. Technical problems. I guess that's just the way it is. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it this way now. Because if I try to do anything with it, it's going to stop. There, it seemed to stop anyway. I don't know, but I don't know how many people are on. Looks like 10 people are on. Well, thanks for coming back. Those of you who came back, that's cool. Boise City says, let's see if Rob can keep this live stream going, LOL. I don't know. The white circle of death is back. It was back. I saw that. I don't know why, but now it seems to be gone. What the heck, man? Sakamoto, he's waving again. How you doing? How you doing? I got to get on the camera. It's now just this little phone. I'm on my phone. Boise City says, Rob, are you having some issues? Yes, I think I'm having some issues. M. Jones says, I think you have to set the orientation before starting it. You know, I didn't have to do that before, unless, you know what, you're right, because when I hit live, that's at the point where I think it freezes the orientation of the phone, and that's why. So and to be able to bring it back the other way, I would have to end the stream and come back on again, and I'm not going to do that. So here we are. Vertical. I guess we're vertical. And the picture looks kind of fuzzy to me or something. I don't know. Kind of weird. But anyway, it is what it is, I guess. I guess it is what it is. Boise City says, I'll be mostly in listening mode. I'm currently cooking my lunch and my phone is charging up. You know, lunch is a good idea. I'm kind of hungry myself. M. Jones, last stream was as frozen as an F-150 door latch. Hey, and you should have some experience with that, right? I mean, you're up there in the Great White North, and it's probably a little chillier, I'm assuming, up here, or up there, rather, than it is here. Steve Davis. Hey, Steve, welcome. How you doing? Having some technical difficulties here today. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. Steve says, live chat gone sideways, LOL. Yeah, I thought I could tilt the phone sideways and maybe be able to maintain something, or rather have it switch, but you can't do that. So here we are. Boise City, he retracted. I'm not sure what happened there, but he did. So back to what I was talking about. I did find a solution as far as I'm concerned, and there's that white circle of death again. I don't know. I'm sure I'm seeing the same thing you guys are, so I don't know why that's happening. Maybe I have an internet problem. I don't know. It is cold and windy here. I don't know if that would have anything to do with it, but I am seeing the white circle of death myself. Let's see. Boise City says, okay, Rob, what the heck? Or why the heck haven't you had lunch? It's got to be like 2:13 over there in Texas. It is 2:14 here in Texas. I don't know. Sean says, figure out the problem. No, I think it's spinning right now. It appears to me that the white circle of death is going on right now. So I'll ask. I'll type a comment in case you guys can't hear me. I don't know. Am I frozen? There. And I saw the comment come through. So obviously I'm still connected. It's a video issue. So now we only have the upper half of Rob's head to look at. That's right. That's a deal, man. Let's see. Sakamoto says no. All right. So apparently, maybe it must be a YouTube thing then, because the screen I'm looking at, well, on my end anyway, the screen I'm looking at showing the white circle of death. It's frozen. But if you guys can still see me, then I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Let's see, Boise City. Now, if only Rob could find a solution on how to do a proper live stream. Yeah, I know how to do that, Dan. I'm gonna go sit in front of a window with a brown curtain on it, put the camera on the floor, and let it look up my nose. Just saying. Hector Preto says my recall was taken care of Thursday. How long did it take, Hector? How much of a time commitment am I going to have to get this thing fixed? And for those of you who don't know, there is a recall on some. I think it's 2000. It's either 2016 or 2017 through 2018 Tacomas, and it's the brake master cylinder, some seal in the cylinder or something, where you can lose pressure, I guess, in the brakes, and I think it was specifically the front brakes. And they're going to replace the whole master cylinder, which I think is pretty cool, you know. But I got to take mine in, so I don't know. Sean says, I think Gear sabotaged you. Yeah, probably. He's probably got some kind of EDC signal jamming device, you know, that he carries in his belt or something, and he has sabotaged my stream. Now my screen just went blank, but now when I go back in, everything is just lovely. So yeah, YouTube seems to be having an issue or something, because you guys can see me, but I don't know. Hector says my car. I read that. Hector says, well, I took a nap 2 hours with the 5K maintenance. Okay, and so the 5K maintenance probably took about, let's give them benefit of the doubt, half an hour. So about an hour and a half, which is what they said the time it would take to get that thing fixed. So not too bad. I'll give them that. Hopefully, and I'll ask when I call. You know, not that that means anything, but you know how long they expect the recall to take. There's a little different camera angle for you. Wow, isn't that lovely? What's this? I don't know. There. Guess I'm just excited to see you guys. Thunder Whisper says, hello all. Hey, T-Dub, how you doing, buddy? We had some technical issues earlier, so hopefully those have all been rectified now. I am on a narrower screen because when I started this, I didn't have my phone turned, so it went with this, and that's where it's stuck right now. Let's see. Patrick. Hey, Patrick, how you doing? Patrick says, need a TED shift knob. You mean a TRD shift knob? I need a TRD shift knob for sure. That's one of the things I've been looking at doing in the truck. So yes, I definitely need that. And they look pretty cool. And for those of you who weren't on or missed it earlier, the next epic mod for the Tacoma. It's going to be a front-facing camera. I found a way to do it. It looks pretty simple, something that even a hack electrical kind of guy like me, which means I don't know much about it, can do. So as soon as the parts are available, I know one of the major components needed to do that mod is back ordered. So as soon as that comes, I'm going to do it. The cool thing about it is it's controlled by a switch, and you can have the front camera on whenever you want, or you can have the rear camera on whenever you want. And the rear camera still comes on when you put the truck in reverse. I mean, it's going to be awesome, I think, man. It's going to be awesome. Let's see. Thunder Whisper says, doing great, Rob. How are you and Krista doing this fine snowy day? For me, anyway. Well, it's 40-some degrees with a 35-degree wind chill here, man. So it's cold, and it's like drizzly raining. So it's a really crappy day here. You know, it's cold enough. I mean, 35-degree wind chill. It's almost freezing, man. Let's see. Patrick Noble says TRD knob. I'll get it right. Yeah. To go back to your original question, yes, I would love to get a TRD knob. And you said you just got one yourself. Where did you get it, and what did you pay for it? Did you get a good deal? Is what I'm looking for. Boise City Mopar. Hey Rob, I never said my videos were going to be perfect. At this time, I don't have the necessary equipment to do a lot of videos yet, but soon. All you need is a phone, man. You just need a phone. You've got the equipment. I mean, you get on, I can see you. Looks like a decent picture to me. I don't know. Maybe you could nail a string into the ceiling, hang your phone from that string, and put it at any height you want. What do you think? Patrick says, just got one myself. I read that. Devontae says, hey, family and friends. Hey, Devontae, how you doing, buddy? Sean, those TRD shift knobs are overpriced for what they are. Oh, there's absolutely. I mean, that's why I haven't gotten one yet, because I'm like, they're a lot of money. They're a lot of money for just something you screw onto your knob, you know, to shift with. It's a lot of money. Patrick Noble says 360 degree would be cool. 360 degree would be awesome, man. That's what the new Tacoma is supposed to have on it. A 360 degree camera, as well as a camera with an under the truck view. Should be awesome. Sean, you'll bounce back to 60 in a day or two, Rob. Yeah, it's supposed to be in the 60s here tomorrow, and then it's going to continue to climb and be in the mid 70s to 80s by the end of next week. So it'll be okay. Patrick says Amazon 95. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I mean, it's still way overpriced for what it is, but that's not as bad. Thunder Whisper says, Sean DeLong, how are you today? I agree, they are overpriced, but I'm one of those suckers who bought one, dagnabbit. I did find it for $64, though. That's better. I like that. Is it still available for that price somewhere, or no? Boise City Mopar says, lunchtime for me. Yeah, I should go eat something. I should take you guys with me and eat something. What do you think? Do you want to go have some lunch? Sean DeLong says, doing good, T-Dub. Doing good, buddy. Sean says, I can handle $64. Yeah, 64 wouldn't be bad. T-Dub, clue us in. Where did you get that thing, man? $64. And was there then shipping on top of it? So was it really more like $74? So yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to, as soon as I can get the parts, like I said, a video went up on this recently, and my guess is people flooded the maker of this thing. It's the wiring harness part, you know, the main thing that you need to be able to do it, that they ran out of stock on. So I think they probably had a run on it, because it is a pretty simple, mod, although time consuming. You got to run the wiring and all that crap, but the actual mod itself is pretty simple. Patrick says anything fun is expensive. That's true. That's true. Like marriage in the beginning, that's expensive. I mean, the wedding, you know what I mean. Let's see. Boise City Mopar says, or if I could buy a selfie stick or a tripod to put my phone on that instead, Rob. You could, but in the meantime, I mean, you just suspend it from something. You know, mine right now, this phone is leaning up on the computer. Before I had it sitting sideways when I did on a pen holder cup thing, pencil holder, I don't know. So it doesn't take much, Dan. It doesn't take much. Thunder Whisper says it was at a Toyota dealer in Florida, Rob. They were advertising it on eBay. I'll have to check it out. Was it a while ago? Have you had it very long, or was this a while back? Edgar says, it's time for a sweet tea, Rob. A sweet tea would be good, but then I'd have to go out in this miserable, freezing cold, rainy, crappy weather, and I think it's going to be a trip to the fridge. That's what I think it's going to be. A trip to the fridge. Thunder Whisper says, can you shoot in a 16:9 format? I don't know. Hector says, I should send you some pics of the local beach. Yeah, it'd be great. Thunder Whisper, it's been about 9 or 10 months ago. All right, so it's been a while. It's possible they may not have them in stock anymore. Um, but like I said, I do want to get something. I had looked for a while about getting something more unique, I guess, But, there's just everything out there, and I don't really want something other than if it's a TRD shift knob that has any writing on it. There's and I never pronounced this right, Mugen, I don't know, for Honda. They have one that's really cool that I thought about getting for the Honda, the Civic, but it's got their name plastered across the top of it, and I'm not really interested in that. Tony Whisper says, in other words, can you turn your camera right now? Let me show you what happens when I turn my camera. Okay, you ready? That's what happens when I turn my camera right now. The screen is locked. It's locked in video mode because when I started this screen, or this live stream rather, unbeknownst to me, it locks however you have the orientation when you start the screen or the stream. I did not realize that. So no, I can't. I mean, I could, and then that's what you'll see, but it's not very good. Raymond says, good going, Rob. Your videos help a lot. Hey, Raymond, thank you, and welcome, by the way. I'm glad to hear that. That's part of the reason I do them, is because I always find it very helpful when I'm looking to do something, whatever it is, to go out to my brain, YouTube or the web, and find out how to do whatever it is I want to do. And you can do pretty much anything, I think. Matter of fact, Gear Runner lately has been complaining of a pain in his side, or a pain he's having, but they haven't figured out what it is yet. Now, I, being the medical expert that I, of course, am, have determined that it is a gallbladder, and he needs to have his gallbladder removed. That's what I'm thinking. So, I think that if he wanted, I do it for like half price, 50 grand. 50 grand, I do it for him, half price. All I got to do is look up a video on the web and take care of it. Just saying. Sean, later, y'all. Later, all. I got to get some things done while the sun is up. Catch you next time. Thanks for being on, Sean. I appreciate it, buddy. Let's see. Thunder Whisper. I can look for a receipt. I seem to never throw those things out. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, if you have a link or a name or something, that'd be awesome. Milton Cans. Milton, welcome. How you doing? Where can I get this camera? There is a guy called, oh shoot, I cannot think of his name. It's on Amazon. If you're talking about what I'm talking about, it's on Amazon. I cannot think of the guy's name right now. I don't know. I'd have to look. I can't think of it right now. But it's a pretty cool little camera, and the picture from what I saw, it looks pretty good. Thunder Whisper. Got it. Sideways Rob. Sideways Rob. Yeah, that's the problem. I thought I could do that, but apparently once you're locked into the stream, you are locked into however you set the orientation when you get going. So, sorry. I know it's not ideal, but let's see. Sean, he was a heading off, and we read that already. All right, so this camera you buy, there's actually 1, 2, 3, I think 3 things or 3 different vendors that you have to go through to get this. Thunder Whisper says, my wife had her gallbladder removed, and that pain is more upper in the middle and mimics a heart attack. Yeah, I had mine removed when I was in my 30s, and I know exactly what it is, and it's a horrid, miserable experience when you have a gallbladder attack. It's horrid. And I had mine removed, and wasn't bad. More recovery from the anesthetic than the real surgery. Probably about 3 months healing time, something like that. About, I'd say, a month or maybe 3 to 4 weeks before you really start to feel good in the area they go in. For me, there were 3 holes, one in my belly button and then a little higher up on each side. They did it laparoscopically, and I don't know, that part wasn't bad, but the gallbladder attacks and things, that really sucks. And for me, it felt like I had the flu right when it started, the onset. And then the pain, like you said, right below like the middle of your rib cage, just a little lower, you know, hurt like hell, nauseous like you wouldn't believe, and lasted about an hour every time. And for me, it happened about once every couple of weeks or so, and was misery. Let's see. Thunder Whisper says, yeah, no fun at all. Nope, it was not fun. And it's the first and only, I think, major surgery I've ever had. And it does freak you out, man. Thunder Whisper says, it freaked me out when she ran out to find me. Yeah, because I'm sure she was scared and didn't know what was happening. I never thought it was anything like a heart attack. To be honest, I didn't know what it was, but I didn't think it was anything like that. It just sucked. Patrick Noble says, "What about replacing stock door speakers?" I've thought about that. I don't really find the system to be that bad. I recently replaced the tweeters, which you probably saw, and that made a heck of a difference. Because that's where you really get most of the sound, you know, at least in a normal system. So I recently did that mod, and that was super easy. And thanks again to Dennis, if you see this, for sending me those. They are from the Subaru, I guess. They're actually Subaru speakers, and they were oh God, I can't think of the name. Harman, Carbon, I don't know, whatever. One of the big kicker speakers, and they work really well. But as far as the door speakers and stuff, maybe. But I think, you know, if you're going to get into that, you probably really need to get into an amplifier and all that kind of stuff too, because I think if you're going to go that far and start replacing that kind of stuff, you really want to get the most sound, you know, that you can get out of it, you know. Let's see. Lauren Gee. Lauren, how you doing, man? What's happening? Thunder Whisper. Harman Kardon. I'm thinking that's not what I meant. Who makes kicker speakers? It's whoever makes kickers. Is it Harman Kardon? That doesn't seem like the right name to me, but it could be. Edge Everyday says, hello. Brian, how you doing, man? Good to have you here. You must be taking a break from setting up that shop over there. By the way, anything else delivered? I saw the video, I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday or the day before, where the guy with the truck was delivering your stuff. By the way, he was kind of a ham, wasn't he? I kind of felt like he knew you were filming and he was kind of putting on a little bit of a show. Am I wrong? Was that just a misinterpretation on my part? And then especially at the end, when you were doing the end of your video and he introduced himself and all that. And maybe you guys worked that out and it was all planned, but he seemed like a little bit of a ham. Not that it's bad, I'm just saying. Thunder Whisper says, hello, Edge. How you doing? So, we got the front-facing camera that we're going to do. Again, I hope that's soon, man. I'm itching to do that now. And then after that, there's some other interior things that I want to do. There's some other parts, and I do have some other decals. You know, I did the video recently of some decals in the engine bay, you know, over the engine cover. And I also have more, and this is from Dennis again, for the inside, where it says Tacoma on the glove box. So we're gonna put those in too, I think. I just haven't done that one yet. Excuse me. Let's see. Thunder Whisper says, just finished up my 2 white oak rocking chairs. Wow. And now on to making a walnut entertainment center. Man, I envy you guys. You know, the talent to be able to do that kind of stuff. I never had that. So, Edge Everyday says, just got done on the joiner. I have to finish a desktop. Very cool, man. Patrick says, saw a carbon fiber knob. I like those carbon fiber knobs, especially those. Is it Mugen? I'm probably killing the pronunciation of that, but they have one that's red with the carbon fiber in it. It looks awesome, but their name is across the top. Who wants that? I don't want that. Thunder Whisper says, sounds fun. Milling wood is relaxing to me. Yeah, I can imagine. It probably is. Boise City Mopar says, man, that hit the spot. LOL. A full stomach feels so much better. LOL. What did I miss? Oh, you missed everything, man. You missed everything. If I were you, once we're done, I would go back and watch this video like 100 times just to make sure you get caught up. Edge Everyday says, I love walnut, T-Dub. I love the walnut. Thunder Whisper, that's why I buy rough stock. It's fun and it's cheaper. Edge Everyday, T-Dub, I can tell you how impressed I am with the 54HH 8th. Something came off like nothing. Edge Everyday, by the way, are you on live chat? Of course not. You weren't here to tell me, man. I mean, why would I be on live chat? I am now. Thank you very much. Boise City Mopar says, hey, Edge. Thunder Whisper says, yeah, walnut is awesome. Just going with sanding sealer and a clear satin finish on it. No stain needed. Sounds like it's easier to do if you do it that way. Another thing that I'm going to be doing, I have this separate guest thing, house, room thing, and I'm going to use that for the channel. So I want to set that up with some kind of a backdrop, other than just some curtains and a shelf with crap on it, and get some of this stuff out of here for live streams and stuff, or maybe probably for videos as well, if I'm just going to talk about something or whatever. But I need to get that set up. So that's a project that I'm going to work on. That is for the channel. I'm not really starting a film studio out there or anything, but I do want to get that set up, and I need to figure out just exactly how I'm going to do that, how to set the camera and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be interesting. Not really Tacoma mod related, but it is something I'm going to do. T-Dub says, is that the house you're putting me in during my visit? No, you've got a spot right out on the other side of the driveway. It's very nice. Hopefully it'll be warm and not raining for you, but it's perfect. It'll work well. Edge Everyday says, tung oil or Danish oil really brings out the figure in walnut. Wow, I didn't know walnut had a figure. That sounds kind of alluring. I like that. I have a question for you, by the way, Brian. I saw some pictures, I think it was on Instagram the other day, of the Subaru. And it looks like you guys did some sort of an install with mud flaps. Is there a video coming on that? Thunder Whisper says, oh, so bring my tent then. Nah, we don't really want a tent. You probably have to sleep in your truck. I think you just have to kind of curl up in the back, or maybe throw a mattress, in the bed. It's not bad. I mean, as long as, it's not spider season, or the cockroaches are under control and the snakes are behaving themselves, you should probably have a pretty good night. You might want to put something over the rails just to keep yourself, protected a little bit, but it'll be okay. Boise City Mopar says, daggone it, darn it, I forgot as well. Thanks, Edge, LOL. Yeah, I always forget to go to live chat. I don't know what it is, some kind of a mental block or something. I was going to take a cruise today over to the Toyota dealer for a couple of reasons. One, to make sure I know where it is again. This is where I bought it, but to get that recall done. And secondly, I wanted to see what flavor of used Tundras they might have on the lot, because I'm still thinking I might buy a Tundra as a secondary vehicle for the channel, or a third vehicle for the channel. I don't know. To be able to do things too, because I do. Again, I like the Tundra. And this one, I wouldn't have a garage problem because I would just park it outside. Again, it would be used. It wouldn't be new. Probably no more than, I don't know, 50,000 miles, which is pushing it for me. Something like that, depending on the cost. I'm not looking to spend a fortune on something either, but I was thinking about doing that. Let's see. Patrick says I did too. Tundra Whisperer says to buy A Tundra. No, no, to have a recall done on the Tacoma. The Tacoma. Edge Everyday says no video. The flaps needed us to take off the tires. Or no video on the flaps needed us to take off the tires. Edge Everyday says no problem, guys. No problem, guys. Let's see. Patrick Noble says after your install. After your install. I did too. After your install. I'm not sure what you mean there. I'm not sure. So anyway, originally I had talked about trying to find a late model Tacoma, but there don't seem to be any around here. So I'm thinking probably more likely it would be easier to find a Tundra, which I wouldn't mind having. Plus, it's a different vehicle on the channel, right? So it's not like I'm in essence just doing another series, if you will, on the same vehicle. I don't know why that keeps happening. Weird. Let's see. Boise City Mopar says, T-Dub, Rob will put you in the guest house, aka the shack, LOL. No, I won't actually. Edge Everyday says, okay, guys, got to go glue up the top. See you next time. Thanks, Edge. Thanks for being on. Thanks for the live chat reminder once again. I appreciate that. T-Dub says, yeah, it sounds like I might be out near the street. Actually, you'd be in the street, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I don't want any misconceptions. You would be in the street. Tundra Whisper says later, Edge. Boise City Mopar says, and to buy a Tundra. I'm going to look around. If it's an hour and a half appointment, that's going to give me a lot of time, assuming it's a decent day. Should be. To go out and nose around a lot. Again, it's only if there was something there that was relatively decent miles, low cost, in good shape that I think would be good for the channel. It would be for the channel. I'm not looking to buy another vehicle for myself, of course. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. And again, back to the older Tacoma thing, there's just not enough. There aren't any in this area. I mean, I looked around on cars.com and some other stuff, and man, the closest decent looking one was like, I don't know, 2,300 miles away or 1,700 miles away or something crazy, And I'm not looking to travel, across the country to get one. I figured, and it's kind of strange, I figured that since we're here in a warm climate, that there would be some around, but there just aren't any. And I never see them. I mean, maybe one or two here or there, but I don't see them either. So it's kind of weird, man. Let's see. Courtney says, "Did I hear mud flaps?" Yeah, it looks like you put mud flaps on the back of your car. Where's the video, man? And welcome, by the way. Boise City Mopar says, Tundra, yep, pretty much, LOL. Yeah. Tundra Whisper says, does your Taco have a stubby antenna? My Tacoma doesn't have any antenna. It's built in, I think, into the shark fin that's on the top of the truck. I don't believe it's in the windshield, and it's not in the rear windshield. So I'm pretty sure it's built into that shark antenna on top. There is no whip antenna, Krista's Jeep has a short antenna. I think it's 14 inches or something like that. So much shorter than the 28 inch or whatever it was whip antenna that was on it. But she does. Let's see. Tundra Whisper, do you ever listen to the radio or saved music? I listen to the radio all the time, both local stations and satellite. And sometimes I stream off of the phone, so I kind of cover it all. Trucking Dan. Hey, Trucking Dan. Welcome. How you doing? Thanks, Rob, for the recall info on the Toyota Tacoma 1819. I didn't know it included the 19, actually. I thought it was... Oh, I see. The P, or what do you have here? P 1018 2019. It's, I think, from 2016 to 2018, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not positive on that. I said it in the video, so whatever the video said, that's what it was. CJ Colvin. CJ, how you doing? Welcome. CJ says, "Hey Rob, what do you think of the Ford Ranchero and Chevy El Camino?" Um, I like them both, actually. I actually put a picture up on Instagram recently of one I saw in a parking lot somewhere around here. And I don't know whether it was an El Camino or a Ranchero or something I've never heard of, but I like them. I've always liked them. I used to work with a guy who had a friend who had one that was completely restored, and it was pretty cool. Courtney, there may be a video. There is footage out there somewhere. Ah, I see. Question is, was it you that took the footage, or was it just a neighbor? Rob Yoda, Yellow All. Good afternoon, Rob Yoda. How you doing? What's happening, man? Thunder Whisper says, "Do they have a Sirius FM tuner in there then?" Yeah, my radio is Sirius FM. So, or satellite. It has satellite radio integrated into the system. So Thunder Whisper XM tuner. Yeah, it has satellite radio integrated in the system, so it is part of the system. Boise City Mopar. Hey, Truck and Dan, how you doing? Ken Bracey. Ken, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Getting around to swapping the license bulbs to LED today on the Taco. It's sunny and only minus 2 degrees outside. Ugh. I can't get my hands in there to get the sockets out. Any tips? If you're talking about, well, you're talking about the rear license plate, and they suck. You just have to keep at it, man. They suck. I think I used, I did a video about it, and if you check out the video, I think I used, man, maybe some locking pliers or something. It was a pain, let me tell you. And people talked about taking the lenses off through the front so you could gain access. Good luck. I tried to do that, and I don't see any way to do that without breaking them. So no, my tip is patience. Lots of patience. If you keep working at twisting the bulb or the fixture, it will twist out, but it's a pain. And I can imagine when it's cold, it's got to be even worse. My advice to you would be wait until it's warm, because it's a pain. It's a nightmare. Boise City Mopar. Well, Courtney, when you find the video posted up, please, LOL. There you go. You have a request. String Bean is back. Bean, how you doing there, buddy? Were you out Valentine's shopping again? CJ Colvin, what part of Texas do you live in? I live in southern Texas. Southern Texas in the RGV. Boise City Mopar says, welcome back, Richard. That's what he goes by now, Richard. Used to be String Beaner. Now it's Richard. Rob Yoda says 90-degree needle nose pliers. That would probably be very helpful. But the problem is there is so little room on the driver's side to work. It's very difficult to get out. At least it was for me. And I was doing it in the heat. I mean, so there shouldn't have been anything that was, should have been rather pliable, I would think. Thunder Whisper, those are actually separate units in these Toyota trucks. It's a separate device that mounts on top of the OEM radio box. Really? Well, I'm going to be taking that radio out pretty soon to do my front-facing cam mode, so I'll be interested to see if there's something there. I didn't know that. King of the Crease says, next Tacoma mod, a recall. Always a sarcastic comment, King. It's good to see you here, buddy. CJ Colvin says, have you heard of a resto mod before, Rob? Yes, I have. It's a combination of old school looks with modern performance. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of all the car auction shows on TV. Meekum and no, what's the other one? The big one. Oh God, I can't remember. But so yeah, that term is mentioned frequently on those shows. So yeah, I am familiar with that. Let's see. String Bean says, I had to go check that my girlfriend's Valentine's present has shipped to my house, and then I've got to ship it to her in New Orleans. Richard, I don't understand. All these girlfriends you seem to have are never located anywhere near you. Do you ever see them in person? Or is it all just an internet thing? I'm really just curious. It's none of my business, but I am curious. String Bean says, hi, king of the sarcasm. Boise City Mopar says, no problem, Richard. Take your time. Take your time, baby. Thunder Whisper says, yeah, there's YouTube showing how Toyota set up their truck radios so someone can actually take it out if they want to. Now I'm going to have to look. The videos that I've seen so far, I don't believe had anything on top of the radio, but that might be just because they did not have the satellite radio option. I'm not exactly sure, but I did not see any that had any kind of a unit sitting on top of them. That would make things even more tight under there, unfortunately. Boise City Mopar says, King, yep, pretty, LOL. King, yep, pretty, LOL. String Bean says, I see her on live streams all the time. So let me ask you then, because inquiring minds want to know. Does she have like a lot of boyfriends? Like everybody on the live stream? Again, serious question, not giving you a hard time. Boise City Mopar says, Richard, that's awesome. Yeah, but you see, Richard, I gotta help you out a little bit here. You see, you have a girlfriend that's not located near you. That's a good thing. That means you don't have to be going places and spending lots of money and all that stuff on her, right? But you're sending her Valentine's presents, so you are spending money. So what's the deal? Rob Yoda says the next Tundra mod should be a 6.7 liter from Toyota. It would only make sense. 4.7, 5.7, and now should be a 6.7. They're trying, I think, to maximize fuel economy. So unless they go to like a 6.7 diesel, I'm not sure that they would be looking at doing something like that. I mean, I don't know. You never know. But Steve Davis. Steve, welcome to the stream. Steve says, look under the OEM radio. There is a video. Look under OEM radio. There is a video. Yeah, I definitely will check it out because once I'm able to get the parts for this front cam mod, I'm going to need to know how to take the radio out. So we'll see. Thunder Whisper says, yep, Yoda, I agree. It'd be interesting. King of the Cree says, I'm just kidding, Rob. Take it easy. Hey, I'm pretty easy, man. I'm pretty easy. CJ Colvin says, have you seen any Scotty Kilmer videos? CJ, I am not a Scotty fan. I actually used to watch Scotty's videos, and I commented a couple of times. And frankly, I got two smart-arse answers. And they were normal questions, man. And I thought, listen, bud, if that's how you want to be, then to hell with you, I just didn't care for it. I thought, I'm on here. I'm a subscriber. I had a valid question, and all I got was a smart-ass answer. So, no, I don't watch him anymore. I just didn't appreciate that, I don't know. Maybe I'm sensitive. Maybe. Thunder Whisper says, man, a 6.7 in a Tundra would be a beast. It would be a beast, man. It would be. E-Dizzle. E-Dizzle. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel, man. E-Dizzle says, are you planning on changing out your stock speakers? Just joined, so sorry if someone already asked. I did change out the tweeters already. I replaced those with that Subaru option that's out there, and I know a lot of people are doing it. It's pretty well known. I did do that, and it did make a heck of a difference. As far as the door speakers or anything else, I don't know. I'm up in the air because I think if you're going to do that, you really need to add an amp, maybe a subwoofer, really go full bore if you're going to start doing that. And I don't know, man. I'm up in the air about it. I don't know. Have you? Are you going to do it? Do you have a Tacoma, or what are you doing? Richard says, I would buy my girlfriend a Tundra before I would buy a Tacoma. If I were her, I'd just have you send her the cash value. I mean, of either one, really. Rob Yoda says, a 6.7 in a Tacoma would be better. I need a new X-Runner. Oh. Well, you're going to have to wait and see. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do in 2021. They're still releasing bits and pieces of stuff out there. So it'll be interesting to see. if they go to a diesel, a 6.7, I don't know. I don't know. Thunder Whisper says, yeah, life's too short for smart arses. Yeah, I mean, I'm on there, and I'm not saying the guy owes me anything, but I'm spending my time and I'm watching his channel, and I leave a valid comment about something I had. I can't even remember, and I got this arrogant, smart ass response. Really like I'm supposed to know the answer to this, like I'm wasting his time. And I just thought, screw you, bud. I don't have to watch you. So that kind of turned me off for that guy. And I know people say he is a brash guy or whatever. Well, I don't have time for that. I don't need it. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Boise City Mopar says, oh no, Richard, Rob is giving advice. Run, LOL. Hey, Dan, I give good advice, man. I mean, come on. Come on. Never take my advice, by the way. I'm just saying. Rob Yoda says, well, if you're a smart arse, that means you would be, let's see. Wait a minute. If you're not a smart arse, that means you would have to be a dumb arse. And it must be hard to go through life being a dumb arse. Just kidding. That was way too long to even comprehend. I don't know. Thunder Whisper says a 6.7 in a taco. Where would they put the motor? In the back bed of the truck. Not a bad idea. There's plenty of room back there. And with that composite bed, just cut out a little pattern and stick it right in there. That'd be awesome. Boise City Mopar. Send the next video. Wait a minute. Send the next video, or maybe in the next video, Rob will be Rob's failed attempt to install the front and back facing camera. LOL. Now, Dan. Have you ever seen a video produced by me? And I have, God, I don't know, like a million on here, where I have failed to do anything. Have you ever seen that? I mean, I'm not trying to be arrogant here, but I'm just saying. Rob Yoda says, Thunder Whisperer, that would be awesome to have a mid-engine truck. Yeah, you never know, man. You're trying to do mid-engine Corvettes, there's mid-engine Porsche. Why not a mid-engine truck? Somebody's probably done it out there, CJ Colvin says, have you heard of the new 7.3-liter gas V8, codenamed Godzilla, for the 2020 Ford Super Duty? If not, go check it out on TFL Truck. Yeah, I have heard of it, actually. I have heard of it, and it should be a beast. Rob Yoda says, Rob can do anything he won't fail at installing the camera. He has YouTube powers and an off switch. The question is, how many takes will he need to do to get it? That's what I said, right? I mean, if I bought something as a mod and it was an epic fail and I could not make it work, then I would put that on. I would put that on because I'd want to show everybody that indeed, unless I did something really wrong, which, is possible, that it's not a good mod. Maybe it's a bad manufacturer, a bad part, or something that just doesn't work. So I for sure would put something up if I had a fail. But you're right. While I'm making the video, and I'll tell you if it's tough or it's hard or whatever, but that's what the on off or start stop button's for, man. E Dizzle says, yeah, I changed those thanks to you. LOL. That's cool. How did you find it? Pretty easy job. I'm changing all speakers to kickers. Wow. Changed out the front doors, no problem. I'm having trouble locating rear door speaker mounts, so I haven't done those. So did you do anything else with the system? I mean, did you just change the speakers, or did you put in an amp or a sub or anything else like that? And what kind of a difference did it make for you to change out those door speakers? String Bean says, the other reason I have not been around is because I have been doing things with my girl and you don't want to know, LOL. No, I don't want to know. But, there's probably at least, I don't know, 14, 16 waking hours in a day. I assume this girl at least sleeps. I mean, even if you don't, I assume she does. So I don't buy it. Rob Yoda says, careful, Rob. Scissors to the head can be dangerous. That's why I put them away. They can be dangerous, and I've been known to cut myself on live streams before. It's happened before. Boise City Mopar says, only Rob Yoda would say that. LOL. Yeah, I know it. I know it. Boise City Mopar Red. Thunder Whisper says, I wish Tesla would offer a V8. Love the car, but want the rumble with it. I love the style of the car as well. You know, I've driven the Tesla and it's just freaking awesome. I mean, it's lightning fast. It's weird. It's weird. It is weird though. You have to get used to it. The braking is weird. It's just weird. Not in a bad way. It's just different. Different's probably a better word because it was a blast to drive. Man, was it fast. Let's see. Boise City Mopar says, yes, Rob, I have seen a few of your videos where you failed at something, like when you cut yourself. That's a fail, LOL. Now, I'm not talking about personal injury. I mean, that's not a fail. That wasn't a failed mod. That was just a failure to properly handle a knife, I think. Dizzle says, also got a 10-inch sub. There you go. But I'm looking to try to make my own sub box because the space behind the rear seats is small. It is. I've seen some for 120. I'd rather spend that on something else. Yeah, and if you're good at doing that stuff, I mean, it is just a wooden box, right? Paint it black, shove it back there. You're never going to see it anyway, so not a bad idea. String Bean says, have you seen any roaches lately? Yes, we had a dead one in the house about 4 days ago when it was really warm. Actually, I shouldn't say it was dead. It was laying on its back and its feet were moving, which is even more disgusting than being dead. But that means the poison is working, because if it hadn't been poisoned, it would have been just running all over the house. I killed it, and then I swept it out the door. I hate those things, man. Just gross. Let's see. Thunder Whisper says, you drove a Tesla. Nice. I've heard they are very peppy. Yeah, there's a video on the channel. There's a video on the channel I did driving and showing the Tesla. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. I think it was what was the designation? I can't even remember how they designate them now. Like the 80, something 80. It wasn't the one, I don't believe, that has, no, it wasn't, that has the ludicrous speed setting. But it was pretty fun, man. Boise City Mopar. No, Richard, can't say I have. Then again, we don't have roaches in Idaho, at least. I don't think we do, LOL. There are roaches everywhere. They may not be in a spot that you've been. You may not be able to see them, but trust me, they are everywhere. You know, if this planet were to end tomorrow, or not the planet, but, you know, nuclear weapon, whatever, roaches would still be around. You can cut their heads off and it lives for like a week or something, man. It's just disgusting. And what a way to go if you're the roach, you know. Ooh. CJ Colvin said, let's see. There's another Texas man that a highly modded 2016 V6 Challenger with a RIP supercharger on it and makes 440 horsepower at the rear wheels. He eats V8 Mopars. You hear that, Dan? He eats them for breakfast. A lot of advertising coming on here from you for CJ. I'll ask you to stop. I'm not here for you to advertise other channels, bud, unless they want to contact me for some sort of an agreement. Boise City Mopar says, CJ, yeah, saw the video as well. I've actually contemplating putting a supercharger on a V6 charger when I get mine. That sounds like an awesome thing to do, Dan. Thunder Whisper, how long ago? Probably back in May-ish of last year. You'll see there's a series where I drove several different cars: Lamborghini, McLaren, Porsche, Corvettes, a really bright red T-Bird. That really stands out if you're looking through the videos. But I think it was May last year where you'll see a whole series of videos on a bunch of different cars. And in there is the Tesla. It's white. So if you see a white Tesla or white car, I think the Porsche was white too. And that may be the only other white one. So if you can find that, just skimming through to make it quick, you'll see it, man. Let's see. Dizzle says, that sounds so much cleaner. I'm sure it will sound 10 times better when I make my own box and get those rear door speakers. Never made a sub box, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, they don't look too complicated to me. I mean, I've seen several, so I don't know. There may be an acoustics component too, though, so I'm not sure. Rob Yoda, Roadkill hit a mile. Wait a minute. Roadkill hit a had a mid. Wait a minute. Had a mid-engine Mintz pickup until somebody stole it. You can find it on. There's another advertisement. I'm going to start blocking that stuff. I mean, again, I'm not here to advertise other channels, and sometimes you get people on here that's their only goal. So if you're merely stating it to be helpful, I do appreciate that. But I don't know who is and who isn't. So I will start blocking that kind of stuff because it's not what I'm here for. It's not a charity. You know what I mean? Thunder Whisper says, okay, got to look for that video then. Yeah, it's like I said, there's a bunch of different cars. There are 3 McLarens, I think, a couple of Corvettes, a white Porsche GT 350, and like I said, that red T-Bird. That thing is so bright, kind of hard to miss. I mean, if you're looking through the videos, it's pretty easy to come across that red T-Bird because it just is beaming, in the thumbnail of it because it's so bright and it has a lot of chrome on it too. So it really stands out pretty darn well in the thumbnail. So it makes it easier to find stuff. But yeah, there's a bunch of different ones on there. That Tesla was pretty darn cool. So check it out, man. And some of the other ones too. I mean, if you like exotics and hypercars, I drove a P1 McLaren. That is definitely a hypercar, and it was fun. M. Jones says, general question. I know all cars are different. If I want to upgrade the sound in a vehicle, would you start with the deck, speakers, a woofer? Know very little about sound. A lot of people say that the deck is really not that important. It's what you do after it with the speakers and an amplifier and a good subwoofer. So if I was going to upgrade, assuming that the deck would allow me to, because obviously you've got to connect the deck to whatever components you put in, I would probably not start with the deck because you can always replace that later too if you find some kind of an issue. But everything I've always seen as far as upgrading a sound system in a vehicle really involves the other components. Like I said, an amplifier, subwoofer, and speakers. Speakers that can handle that. I mean, when I did the tweeters in the Tacoma recently, they are paper. They were paper. What do you call it? Paper cones, I guess. The speaker part, which obviously through enough vibration will crack, rip, tear, because eventually that paper is going to get brittle. I don't know if you've ever taken a speaker out of an older car, but if you have and you went to grab that, and I've done this, when you go to grab it, I've actually put my finger through that paper, not because I pushed really hard on it and tore it, because it just kind of disintegrated when I put pressure on it. And that's because they get brittle after a while. So, and of course they'll vibrate. I mean, if you get a little tear in it or something, or the paper really starts to degrade, it will vibrate and you'll get a vibration, kind of a sound, if you will, if that makes sense. Because I've done a little bit of that in the past before. And I've also replaced just speakers, and that was kind of a waste of time for me. That's why I asked earlier if replacing the speakers really made that big of a difference. It did for me in the tweeters because I replaced those with, or I got rid of the paper speaker, which again doesn't give you the greatest sound with that more modern, I don't even know what the material is, plastic or component, composite rather, kind of material. So that's what I know. I'm sure there are others in here who will chime in. Boise City Mopar says, CJ, I'd be careful what you watch from 86 Face. That guy could be a bit of a jerk. I used to watch some of his videos, but he got so rude and disrespectful that I unsubbed from him. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to be that way. Let's face it, we're on here for the subscribers and stuff. So that's what we're here for. Again, I don't mean to be an ass, but I'm not on here to advertise other channels unless we have some sort of an agreement between us. But that's between the creators, It'd be like going into Walmart and they're advertising Sears. You ever see that? I never see that. Let's see. Thunder Whisper says that's funny. I did the same thing in my old truck. In my old truck speaker, it was brittle. Yeah, I mean they get really brittle over time, and you can just put your finger right through it. You don't have to put much pressure on it or anything. So that shows you the kind of quality that those paper speakers are, or paper cones within the speaker. CJ Colvin says, so what do you think of the Ford 5-liter Coyote V8 in the Mustang and the F-150? I've not driven one, so I can't really give you a good representation of it. But I do love the Mustang, particularly the Mustang GT. I think it's one of the most awesome cars stock on the road. I drove a Shelby Mustang GT 500 recently on the channel, and they're just awesome, wicked fast, great sound. The Mustang GT, as I have said probably 1,000 times, is the best sounding car on the road. I mean, that exhaust, the way they tune that car is just awesome. So I do love the Mustang, but I can't really speak too well on that because I haven't driven one. Boise City Mopar says, we have been warned, LOL. Just being honest. Boise City Mopar says, CJ Colvin, the 5-liter V8 engine that Ford has in their vehicles is a pretty good engine. In the F-150, not so good in a Mustang, especially with that ticking noise is going on with them. Wow, so they've produced something that, like the Honda and my Tacoma, ticks. I have a tick. Rob Yoda says, maybe Tesla should contact and install a sound box so when you give it gas, it sounds like a V8. Most of the RC cars have them. I've heard that they actually add some sound to these electric cars, and it's for public safety, so that when people are walking across the road, if they're not paying attention and the driver of the car doesn't see them, they'll hear what would have been an exhaust note, but doesn't have one because they're so quiet. Although I usually find I can hear the tires on the road around it, so I don't know how you'd miss it unless you're really not paying attention, Thunder Whisper says they can't advertise Sears. Sears is out of business. That's why I picked it. I wasn't born yesterday, unfortunately. Boise City Mopar says, Thunder Whisper, that is true. I deem that true. Steve Davis says, how fast is ludicrous speed? Ludicrous. It's ludicrous. You can go 1,000,000 miles an hour, literally 1,000,000 miles an hour. I don't know. You don't even use the brakes when you're using ludicrous speed, because if you are, they don't even work. They'll just burn up at contact because the wheels are spinning so quickly. You know what I mean? Rob Yoda says Ford and GM also came together. Also came together to put an awesome 10-speed in the new F-150, and I believe in the Camaro and the Corvette. It's awesome. My friend has a new F-150, and that thing is pretty sweet. I don't know. Like I say, I haven't paid a lot of attention to the new F-150s or to the F-150 at all, because I had the two, and it kind of soured me on them. But I don't know. I think the F-150 is probably the Raptor, especially maybe third best looking truck on the road. And if you could slap that Mustang exhaust on it, be the best sounding truck on the road too. CJ Colvin says, what do you think of 92 through 96 Ford trucks? Never had a 92 through 96. I actually had a 15 and a 16. I don't know. Don't know much about those either. I never had one, so I can't really speak to how they were, and I don't want to lie to you. So Thunder Whisper says, daggone it, to the moon and back in an hour. That's right. That's right, man. Matter of fact, I think that if they ever come out with a new Back to the Future, 5 or 10, they'll probably put a Tesla or a McLaren in as the car. It'll be the upgraded. Let's see. Although you can still buy brand new DeLoreans, I think, and build them, I believe. Ken Bracey says, so were those Subaru worth it? I can't believe it would make that big of a difference unless you're thinking of upgrading all the speakers and adding a subwoofer too. For me, it was worth it. I mean, now, full disclosure, they were sent to me by a subscriber, so I didn't pay for them. So let me back up. For me, they would be worth it. You know, they're like $100, I think, 99, 90 something. And they're an easy install, and you get a much crisper, cleaner, high end or higher range sound out of them, I think. Now, if you don't if you don't pay attention to that kind of thing, or you're not sensitive to that sound, then maybe it wouldn't be worth it for you. But obviously, the more you do to it, the more pronounced improvement you're going to get, you know. Rob Yoda. Also, who doesn't like turbo? I wish they had a turbo 5. Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't have a problem with turbo. I had one car that I didn't like as turbo, and that was the Mazda Speed 3. That thing would spool out in about 10 seconds and it was gone. I didn't care for that. But in the Civic Sport that I have, you really don't ever seem to lose the turbo. I mean, it seems to always be there, and I think that's pretty cool, man. Let's see. Rob Yoda. That turbo F-150 is faster than the 5, but both are nice. Yeah, I'm sure. CJ Colvin, what do you think of Ford and GM not making cars anymore and about GM laying off workers? I think it's a business decision. I know a lot of people get up in arms about all this stuff, but you know, business doesn't care. Business is business. You know, business, the animal, is in it to make money. And if you can't make money, you have to make changes. And I assume, you know, since Ford and GM are taking, I didn't know GM wasn't going to make cars anymore. I have heard that Ford is only going to make the sports car and then the SUVs and trucks, but you got to do what the business model calls for, man. I mean, if you can't make money doing it, it's not going to be long before you're not going to make anything. So I don't know. It's kind of the way it is. It's what the business animal wants. Thunder Whisper says higher, cleaner frequency sound, crisper sounding. That's the description right there. You see, we need an audio file. We need an audio file guy to describe it. Steve Davis, at ludicrous speed, would G-forces matter? LOL. You know, at ludicrous speed, G-forces just don't even exist. At ludicrous speed, you kind of meld with the car. You kind of become one. So it doesn't really even make any difference, you know, at ludicrous speed. I'm just saying.
That was easy.
Not really. Anyway, guys, been on here combined about an hour and a half. So I think it's about time for me to sign off here. Boise City Man says, stupid CJ. I don't think he's calling CJ stupid. I think he thinks that the decisions they're making are stupid. Gear Runner, what's up, buddy? Gear Runner says, didn't see you were live. I'm out with the wife, so eating and shopping, so I can't stay. Just wanted to drop and give a thumbs up and say hi, everyone. Hey, I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for being on. I'm just about to end here anyway. It was just a pop-up. I appreciate that you stopped in. Tell your wife. RobMotive says, how you doing? Let's see. Thunder Whisper says, you wear your ludicrous suit. Absolutely. And play ludicrous music. Ken Bracey says, love your channel, Rob. Got to go play with the taco now. Thanks, Ken. I appreciate it. Thanks for being on, buddy. Boise City Mopar says, you know, I just noticed something. We've been on for over an hour and there have been no issues going on. Nice. Yeah, I'm on the phone and it seems to be my desktop that has some kind of a problem. I really don't know. I am on Wi-Fi still, so Gear Runner says will do. Good to see you, buddy. Have fun shopping or eating or whatever it is you're doing out there. Thunder Whisper says take care all. You too, T-Dub. Thanks for being on. Everybody, thanks for being on. I appreciate all you guys. You have a good day, and we shall see you next time.